I've got the strangest feeling. This is not our first time around. Do you feel like this is your first time around? Do you feel like this is your first experience as a human? Do you think that this is your first time being self-aware and having an experience? When I think as deeply as I can about existence, I start to highly doubt that this is my first time around. It feels like I've been here many times before, and there's never been a time where I actually liked the experience. It seems like there's something fundamentally wrong with existence. Like I can't shake away the feeling that there's something fundamentally wrong with existence. I try to think as honestly as I can. I don't like being negative. I think there's some people who like being negative, right? Who just say, this is bad. You know, the world is bad. The world is... I'm not that kind of a person. To me, it's about the truth. But that's the thing, though. When I think as honestly as possible, I genuinely think this is bad, right? I even try to be biased sometimes when I'm thinking about life. But like, yeah, maybe I've just been through a lot, maybe I'm just too intelligent for my own good, maybe I'm just too sensitive, maybe I'm just focusing on the wrong things. But still, man, I even imagine myself debating with some of the most intelligent people, try to put myself in their shoes. What would they say if I said this? And they just don't win. Like if there's something that I'm not afraid to do is debate. It's to debate with people. Like I think something is really, really wrong with this world. And as conscious beings, we need to be honest with ourselves about that. People ask me, why do you go to the gym every day? I'm trying my best to stay afloat, all right? If you don't fight for your health, if you don't fight for your mental health, if you don't stay busy, it's very easy to drown. But if you stay busy, keep distracting yourself, it gets a little easier. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing wrong with this place. It feels like everything about this place is just wrong. But you can do some things to kind of like forget that, because you don't always want to be aware of how wrong life is, right? You don't always want to be thinking about that. Sometimes you want to distract yourself. Sometimes you want to go out on a date. Sometimes you want to go to a party. Sometimes you want to socialize. Sometimes you want to have conversations with people. Sometimes you want to, make friends. Even though everything is a trap, really, but you gotta be doing something to try to distract yourself. Sometimes you want to compete with other people. You can try to, become an athlete, try to have fun. You can try to become an artist, try to have fun. You can write poems, write a book, make YouTube videos, whatever to stay afloat. Because if you do nothing, you start to drown. And we know that no one is comfortable with drowning, Even if a person intentionally drowns themselves, they will want help, right? They will want help. Like you just can't chill and do nothing. but that doesn't mean that this is good. Life is like being on a treadmill. You have to keep on running. If you don't keep on running, you fall. Right? It's like being on a treadmill where if you stop running, you're gonna fall. Maybe there's thorns behind you, so if you stop running, you're gonna fall on them and it hurts. It's kind of like that, because you always gotta be doing something, right? If you stop doing if you stop distracting yourself, you fall on the thorns, and it just hurts. It just hurts, and in getting back on your feet and starting running again is not easy. Now you are in pain. It's not easy. It's gonna take time for you to heal. Sometimes it takes years for you to heal, and you keep on running because you don't want to fall back again, because you know how it hurts and you know how much time it took for you to recover. It's like that. And the biggest red flag for me, this is something that I've never been able to come to terms with, is that we really didn't choose this. I don't think people really think about what this really means, right? It's crazy to me that people think that that's normal, like that's okay. The people that are here and they just have to live life. Oh, look at how beautiful the world is. Look at. No one chose this. Forget about how beautiful you think it is. Forget how beautiful you think your life is. How blessed you are. How much God loves you. Think about that for a second. You didn't choose this. Do you understand what that actually means? You can suffer. You can feel all kinds of pain that you don't want to feel. You can suffer emotionally, physically. You can get sick. Someone can come in and torture you if they want, because you don't really have anything protecting you. Get out of bed. Do you understand what that means? You literally were put in a world where you are vulnerable, where things happen to anyone, and you didn't choose to be in that kind of world. You never said, I want to be in a world where I'll be vulnerable, where other conscious beings can bully me, where they can make me suffer emotionally, where I'll be confused, where some of them will control me, where some of them will enslave me, where you didn't choose to be here. The fact that was possible, it was possible for you to find yourself in a world that you didn't choose to be in. And in this world, anything can happen to you. That is scary. I don't think we should be comfortable as sentient beings. Like, if you're an intelligent being that is conscious, how can you be comfortable with that? That is scary. And I could never respect the intelligence of a person who doesn't understand how messed up that is. I could never. Like, I'm being real. If you don't understand how messed up it is that you're alive without your consent, and if you think as rationally as possible, it doesn't really make sense to be creating people without their consent. There's this episode of South Park. So the boys were standing in the mirror. South Park is like a dream. Anything is possible. This is why I love it. It's my second favorite TV show. So the boys were standing in the mirror, and they were told that if they say the name Biggie Smalls 5 times, he's going to appear. So they'll try to summon him. Eric Cartman is the funniest in South Park, so he's the first to do that because he didn't believe it was real. So he stood in the mirror and said Biggie Smalls' name 4 times, and decided to not say it for the 5th time because he was scared, but he pretended as if he wasn't scared. And Yeah, finally they did it, and yeah, they summoned him, and he was so damn angry. Because he was there without his consent. He was having a good time in hell. That's what he says. It's funny that he was actually in hell, but it makes sense when you listen to his music. But he was mad. He was summoned into the world without his consent. He was having a good time where he was. Now he's summoned into this world without his consent. And they kept on summoning him, It pissed him off. It even got to a point where he pulled out a Glock. We don't want to do anything without, we want to do what we want to do, right? As humans, we want to have free will. We want to be able to choose what we want to do and what we do not want to do. We don't want to be forced to do things that we do not want to do. Even if these things are good, we don't want to sacrifice ourselves. That's how we are. We're selfish. And that's why the world is the way that it is. No one wants to do what they do not want to do, even if it benefits others, But yeah, this can benefit a lot of people, but I don't want to do it. I don't give a shit if it benefits. That's how we are. We're selfish. So we understand the importance of consent as conscious beings. That's why we arrest people who force other people to do things against their will, or who do things to other people that they didn't want them to do to them, right? We arrest these people, and it's a big deal, It means we understand the importance of consent. I can't force a person to come with me if they don't want to come with me. If I force them to come with me, they will arrest me. If I started dragging a person in the street, hey, come with me. It doesn't matter if I have good intentions. It doesn't matter if I want to help them. We understand the importance of consent. But we don't question the morality of bringing someone into existence if we cannot get consent from them. And once they are here, we expect them to carry on with their lives. We don't believe that they must have the choice to say, okay, I don't understand what the heck is going on here. Can I go back to wherever I come from? No. That's considered a sickness. You're sick if you feel that way. Why would you feel that way? And we have, what can I call it? We think we're so right. The people that are very hard to deal with are people who do the things that are wrong but who think they're right. Oh, those are the hardest people to deal with. Those are the hardest people to reason with. We think we are right. This is a gift. How can, anyone who feels like this is not a gift is evil. Something is wrong with you. You're going to go to hell for feeling that. And you're like, what the hell? People don't think, bro. It's crazy. But for me, that's a red flag, right? The fact that we're having this experience, but we didn't choose to have this experience. No one said they wanted to have this experience. That's a red flag to me. And we go through a lot. We really, conscious beings go through a lot. The things we do to one another as people. Damn. These things are unbelievable, bro. It's just that when you hear that something bad was done to someone, you don't really think about how it might have been for that person. You know what it's like? It's like if you've never been to, okay, let me give you this simple example. You watch an MMA fight, two fighters are fighting. If a fighter is getting his ass whooped, you could see what he could do, right? Because you're not in his shoes, it's very easy for you to be like, but if he does that, he's gonna win. If he does that, he could have knocked him out. You know what I mean? You are not in that situation. We don't have, even though we feel like we can put ourselves in other people's shoes, we're not. It's like if you're at a gym working out. Oh, I mean, not even like if you imagine yourself at a gym working out, it's gonna feel like it's easy, right? But when you're at a gym trying to lift something heavy or trying to run, like on a treadmill, it gets to a point where you're actually tired, because you're having the actual experience. So there are horrible things that happen to people, but because we don't know what it's like to have the experience that they're having, or because human beings kind of live in the moment. Like, if things are good for us at the moment, we literally forget about all the bad things that we've been through and all the bad things that others might be going through, right? You don't think there might be someone who got involved in a car accident who just lost maybe the person that was really, really important to them, and it's gonna take time for them to recover, and also they are injured badly, so they will have to recover from their injuries and then recover from losing the person that they love. Maybe they lost their child or children. Like, people go through things that you can't even imagine, bro. Things that are just too horrible. We can say, hey, this is a dream, this shouldn't be taken seriously, but let's not lie to ourselves about how we feel when things happen. No matter what this is, it could, like, it's like if you suffer from schizophrenia and you knew that, and you were seeing these scary beings everywhere, and people told you that the shit that you're seeing is not real, and you knew that, but it wouldn't mean that it doesn't affect you, like seeing this shit. You're programmed to respond a certain way when you see shit that's scary, right? So it doesn't matter if it's not real. I mean, it's good to understand if it's not real, because you're not going to take it as seriously as you would if you felt it was, but still you suffer. The same way that you suffer if you imagine negative scenarios in your head, right? You do suffer, like, you will not feel good. That's why I tell people that, hey man, since you have the power to think about what you want to think about, try your best to think about what you want to think about. Sometimes there's no point thinking about things that hurt you, because there's nothing to gain. So even if you find yourself in a situation where you're being reminded of things that hurt you, if you remember me telling you that stop focusing on those things and start focusing on things that don't hurt you, you did have some good experiences. So you can think about good experiences that you had. Even if you've never had good experiences, you can imagine yourself having good experiences. If you really hate this realm, you can imagine yourself in a realm that's better. Can imagine yourself waking up one day realizing it was all a dream, and and figuring out how to not dream again. Because if I woke up one day and all of this was a dream, I will figure out how to not dream again. I will not sleep. Period. Like, I will not sleep again, bro, if these are the kind of dreams I'll be having. Because this is just not right. Something is fundamentally wrong. I'm tough as they come, but when I think as honestly as possible, I can see something is just not right. I'm tough. I'm prepared to be tough. I work hard. I do things right. Be honest with you, I do things right, but that doesn't mean that this is good. It isn't. You just do what you can to make things better for yourself, but this doesn't mean this is good. Like, if you think as honestly as possible, you can see that this is just not good. No matter what it is, it's a simulation, it's a dream, whatever you believe about this reality, I don't think it's good. Even if you are the only conscious thing in existence, I don't think you're having a good dream. I think you messed up somewhere. I don't think, like, I do see why you like, when you're watching a movie, you don't want a movie where everything is going well, right? We don't like those kind of movies. Everything is going well, everyone is having a good time, there's no conflict. We don't like those kind of movies, but it still has to make sense, you know? You can't be here for 50 years and life still doesn't make any sense. You're still confused. Like, nah, like there's something weird about that. Why would you create that kind of life for yourself? Why would you create that kind of a dream for yourself? It needs to make sense at some point. There needs to be a time where things turn around in your life and they start to make sense and you start to have fun, you know. But when you look at people who have died, most of them didn't have a good life or a life that you'll be like, hey, I wish I had that kind of life. Even the most famous people, you look at someone like Michael, and I know people will be like, Michael had a great life. Are you sure? Like, it seems like it was sad. It seems like there are people who had nothing who had a better experience. I mean, not a better experience, but who suffered less than he did. Like, it's not about having things. It's just about your life making sense. It's about your story starting to make sense. You don't want to watch a movie that just doesn't make sense. I've watched movies that don't make sense and I felt completely disappointed. Like, it has to make sense. It has to have some meaning. Like, even if, of course life doesn't have meaning, but you can create meaning, right? If the story itself is dope, the same way that if you watch a movie that is dope, you're able to create meaning. Like, there are some movies that I think about every day, like Avengers, Infinity War. Like, I think about that movie every day, like Thanos, actually, like him on a mission, because of what he had been through. Like, I feel like that's a great story in a way. Like, that's something that you can look at and just love it. Like, it's a beautiful story. You could tell that it's Harvard, looking at how the movie ends and all that, but still, it's a great story. But most lives just never make sense. You're like, it seems as if this person was just supposed to suffer. You'd swear they're not the main character in their own story. Like, some people are treated by life like they're not the main character in their own story. And some of them die horribly. So they suffer a lot and then die horribly. And you're like, what was the point? So there's this deep desire to wake up and never fall asleep again. Never have this dream again. Because it's just bad. I know I can do it until forever. Not forever. But I can do it until, like, I was the oldest person that ever lived. Like, I can do it. I do have the tools to be able to do it, but I don't see meaning. Like, I don't see the beauty in that for me. It just seems wrong. Like, all of it just seems wrong. So I wouldn't be excited to be the longest living human on earth because it just seems wrong. It doesn't seem right. I could try to listen to motivational speakers, listen to pastors. It just feels like they just don't understand what I understand. Like, they're not operating at my level of awareness. I feel like I can win a debate with them any day without preparation. If you wake me up in the morning and you bring the best pastor in the world and sit him next to me and say, have a conversation about life, he's losing. You bring your Jordan Peterson, your Elon Musk, whoever, I think they're losing. I don't think they're right. All the pro-lifers, bring them, like, they stand no chance. I think most people who believe this is a gift, they're hypocrites. And they can be easily exposed if they have a conversation with a person who's not afraid to speak the truth, who's not afraid to speak their minds, who's not afraid to be as logical as possible, who's not afraid to go to the deep waters. with everyone. The truth is wicked. Like once you go to the truth about every single thing, you just realize how wicked the world is and how scary it is that we actually have found ourselves here. We try to have conversations with people about, what's hurting them. Because everyone is hurting, that's something that I've realized. And social media helps us see that because we check people's posts on Facebook, you check what they post on their WhatsApp status, you check what they post on Twitter, TikTok, when they talk about their personal lives on YouTube, you see that there's pain. Like people are in pain and they don't know how to heal themselves, right? Even the people that you admire, right? Because there's some people that you look at and be like, oh, then the person is having a great time. Oh, look at that lady. She's so beautiful. Guys worship her. She must be happy. She has what I want. She's already used to all of that. She wants something real, or she wants she's messed up her life. She's got issues, and it seems that people are broken in their own ways. You look at a person and you wish you could be like them, but they're broken in their own ways. Things ain't what they seem. People try to share with you their problems, you'd be surprised. Like, damn, I can't believe you went through that. It seems like life has a way of making everyone suffer. Like, that's the point of it, because no matter what you do, you still suffer. So you're like, why am I suffering no matter what I do? I could work hard, I could work out at the gym every day, I can do everything right, I can be the best human being that I can be, but I'll still suffer. Like, you suffer even if you're the best version of yourself. Like, that doesn't really matter. I mean, to maintain that, to be the best version of yourself and always be that's going to take a lot of work, and that's suffering. So you need to get to a point where you don't even enjoy your life. You're just busy trying to be the perfect vision of yourself all the time, always working on yourself, always going to the gym, eating healthy, not having time to have fun, not having time to create relationships, meaningful relationships, not have time to listen to music, not have time to go out. You're busy all the time. That's suffering. Ever wondered what we're actually doing here? Does this really feel right to you? Does this feel okay? Are you a crybaby when you speak the truth about what's going on? And even if you're a crybaby, have you not earned the right to be a crybaby? I mean, shouldn't you cry if you find yourself in a world that you don't understand, where you're suffering and you desperately want to get rid of your suffering, but you don't know how? Maybe you should cry. Well, why shouldn't you cry? Isn't that a bad thing? It's scary to be in a world that you don't understand for real, and you don't know how to free yourself. You can do philosophy all you want, but you find that nothing really changes. You're still here. You still don't understand what's going on. You're still confused. They keep on giving us gadgets, that we use. Keep creating new websites, new trends, giving us new artists, new actors, new movies. But there is something inside you that tells you that this is wrong. Like you no matter how hard you try, it's just there. You know what I mean? No matter how hard you try to focus on what you're being fed by this world, but it still feels like something is not right. So you ask yourself, what do I do? What do I do? Because that's how I feel. You know, there's no amount of therapy that can make me view life differently. Like the problem is in that I'm unable to control my. I mean, we're not really that good at controlling our own minds, but it's not like my problem is in that I'm less than what I should be. Or I'm less than other humans, meaning that other humans are just better than me and are able to manage their emotions better. Like, no, actually, I believe that I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing at the highest level. And now that's what I'm seeing, that something is wrong. Like, if, there's this series called C. One of my favorite quotes from the series, like, in a world where everyone is blind, seeing is a sin. It's like that. It seems like once you start to see, you suffer for that, right? Once you start to see, you suffer. But if you're unconscious and you see nothing, you suffer less. So being conscious makes you suffer. So in a world like that, it's logical to think that something is wrong, because you're supposed to suffer for being weak, for not being able to see the truth, for not operating at a high level of consciousness. But if you suffer for being strong, because being able to see things as they are, being able to handle the truth, operating at a high level of consciousness, that being strong. But if you suffer for being strong, then something is wrong, right? It's like slaves during the time of slavery in America, that way when allowed to, like, there were slaves that were able to read, they'll cut their tongues. It's like, you're not supposed to, like, that's wrong, right? Because you being able to read, that's a positive thing. So you're not supposed to be better than you are, because you're supposed to be a slave. So you're not supposed to operate at a high level of consciousness. If you operate at a high level of consciousness, then you get punished for that. The matrix is against you. It has programmed all the people that it can control to be against those who are conscious. This is what I was talking about in the video that I published earlier. That the kids that were very intelligent, the kids that were very conscious when they were young, they had to go through a lot. They had to get bullied. Their teachers didn't understand them. Their parents didn't understand them. They felt alone. They had to go through a lot. And some of them ended up giving up because they felt like maybe they were doing something wrong. Because here's the thing, if you do something, even if it's something right, if you suffer, you think that is wrong. That is why the people who have loved in life, right? Let's say as a guy, you've met this woman and you loved her unconditionally. You treated her so well. Maybe she cheated on you once or twice, but you forgave her. You bought her gifts and she continued to break your heart until you became completely broken. You ended up losing everything. A man like that, will never love again, and they will believe that loving is wrong, right? He'll be like, when you see another guy loving a woman, he'll be like, that's wrong. Like, you've not learned. Like, he would think, but loving is a good thing, right? Treating a person well is a good thing, right? I'm not saying we should treat people well who don't care about us. I mean, if you in love with a woman who just doesn't love you, you have to let her go, for real, because it might feel like that's a good thing because you're loving someone, but you're not loving yourself. That's the problem, because you also, like, love, like, has to do with reciprocation. Like, you guys have to meet each other halfway, because we're having this difficult journey together. So you can't be the one who's right, who's doing everything right, and the other person is just doing everything wrong, and you have to love them because you are the bigger person. Like, no, you have to love yourself too, and realize when something is bringing you down, when something is bringing your spirit down, because it takes time to heal, right? But yeah, a man who has experienced what I'm telling you would never love again. He will think that loving is wrong. You see, if you have trusted people and they betrayed you, you feel like trusting, but that would need to be a good thing. Like in an ideal world, that would be a good thing. It would be a good thing to trust others. It would be a good thing to love others. It would be a good thing to help others. But if you've helped people and they took you for granted or even took advantage of you, like you help a person and then maybe let's say a person doesn't have a place to stay and you offer them a place to stay and they steal from you. Like that happens to people. Someone, I remember this other lady, she used to teach us English when I was in high school. There was this kid that she helped. Her parents died. She had nothing. So she decided to take her in, like come stay with me. I'll buy you clothes. I will help you. I will give you money for food at school and all that. You know what the young girl did? She stole that woman's laptop, cell phone, and some money and ran away. So how do you think that lady felt? She felt like, I don't think she's ever helped a person like that ever since that experience. But that will agree it's a good thing, right? So, yeah, without really learning anything that's making us better, we're kind of learning to be cruel. We're learning to not love, to not trust. Now trusting other people is a bad thing. You're stupid if you trust other people. Like we live in a world that's so damn toxic, bro, that this is just completely meaningless. Even if you wanted to create meaning out of this, you couldn't. Because what kind of meaning would you create? You can't create meaning out of Squid Game. We love watching Squid Game because it's a reflection of this world. But imagine yourself as a character in Squid Game. What kind of meaning would there would be no meaning. Like it would be impossible to come up with meaning. The only reason why we're able to come up with meaning is because we see that our world is like that. So we see truth. We see the truth about our world, right? About the challenges that we go through. But it doesn't mean that it's actually meaningful. It's just showing us what we're actually going through as sentient beings and how messed up it is that we're going through what we're going through. But it doesn't matter what we do, man. It seems like this is just bad. And it was never meant to be good. And if by some miracle we figured out a way to make it good, something really bad will happen. Because it's not supposed to be good. It's supposed to be the way that it is. If it wasn't supposed to be the way that it is, it would be different. So it's the way that it is because it was supposed to be the way that it is. And it's not easy for us to change things because we're not supposed to change things. You see? We can preach equality all we want. We can preach peace all we want. Love all we want, but that doesn't really help. It's just us continuing this narrative that, hey, things will get better. Have faith, things will get better. But they don't. And some people have accepted that things won't get better. You might say, well, that makes you miserable, but maybe there's peace that comes with accepting the truth. Maybe we all struggle in our own ways. Maybe the people who are ignorant struggle in their own ways. Because sometimes people believe that ignorance is bliss, but what if those who are ignorant suffer for being ignorant? So you who's not ignorant, you suffer for not being ignorant because you're able to see the truth, but the person who's ignorant keeps on making mistakes, and these mistakes making them suffer. And they don't understand how they're making, what's causing them to suffer, right? It's like this reminds me of this other video of a goat. It fell into a pit and they rescued it. After they rescued it, about 10 seconds later it jumps back. And you're like, does it even understand how it how it got there? Because it started screaming again after it jumped back into the pit. It's like the same. Some people are just like that. They keep making mistakes, and these mistakes make their lives hard, and they see their lives being hard and don't even understand why their lives are hard. But ignorant people suffer more than people who are not. Let me put it this way: people who are ignorant find themselves in deeper shit than the people who are not ignorant. Like if you're not ignorant, you make less mistakes. I mean, the matrix would still find a way to make you suffer, but the people who are really, really ignorant, these are people who find themselves in really, really messed up situations. A person has 7 kids, no job, suffering every day, no food at home, nothing. 6 baby daddies. Like, guy is a teacher, he has a job, he has 4 baby mamas. He's not even enjoying his money. You know what I mean? And all of them do not have jobs. They rely on him. Some of them, they got him on maintenance because he's not paying child support. Like, it's... Dude, have you just noticed that I just... I just hope you guys don't notice what I've just noticed. But but yeah, man. I just hope that all of this does get to make sense in the end, But it doesn't feel like it will make sense. I don't think it will. I think one day we'll wake up from this and we won't want to have this experience again. For me, it doesn't feel like it's the first time it's the first time I've been conscious. It feels like I've been conscious and I've had many different experiences. I just hope there was something that I was learning, but that I didn't know I was learning, right? That this was for my own good, but I didn't know because I couldn't. I wasn't supposed to know. Because when you think as logically as possible, this is not for your own good. Like that's the conclusion that you make. But there's still hope that maybe this was for me. It was necessary for me to have this experience, and I'm gonna be better because I had this experience. Because other than that, if it's just about fun, creating meaning, it wasn't really fun. It's just, it's full of disappointment, and it didn't make a lot of sense, It gets to a point where you just expect bad things to happen. You're like, it's what I know. Like when good things happen, you're scared. Have you ever felt like that? When good things do happen in your life and you feel scared, you're like, because it's like you're used to bad things happening. So you're like, why are good things happening? Like sometimes it does feel like that. So I do hope that someday it does make sense. While I'm still here, that'll even be doper. And I'm able to explain to myself, oh, this happened because of that. But I highly doubt that this is a positive experience. Like it's just, it doesn't seem that way. And I think being honest with ourselves as people about that is a good thing, rather than lying to ourselves. I don't think lies are actually helping us, right? Like the lies that we're telling ourselves, I don't think they're helping us. Past lies. What I like about how I'm living my life now is I'm becoming more and more brave. I'm becoming less afraid. And that's because I do things that I'm afraid to do. I do go much further than I'm supposed to go. I break rules more than I used to. I operate outside the box now. I don't limit myself the way that I used to. And that's helping me grow, and that's helping me see things as they really are. It's not good to sit in your room philosophizing without having actual experiences. Like, you learn from having experiences, and these experiences do help you see things more realistically. And another thing that's important is that you don't want to leave this world feeling like you've missed out. I don't think that's a good thing. You want to leave this world feeling like you haven't missed out on anything, or you have tried your best, right? You don't want to have regrets. I think you're going to still be an energetic match to this if you still have some regrets. But like, well, I should have, I should have been in that relationship. I should have approached that girl. I should have tried to get that job. I should have tried to pursue this. I should have tried that. I should have wrote a book. I shouldn't have lived in fear. I should have been more free. I think that's gonna make you have a desire to have this experience again somehow, and you could find yourself having this kind of experience. So you must not limit yourself in any way. Just be you and experience the truth of being you, without any regrets. I don't think you can regret being the best that you can be. Even if things go totally wrong, you just know that things do go wrong. Even if I'm the best version of myself, even if I'm the dopest version of myself, even if I'm the smartest version of myself, but try to be the best that you can be, the best version of yourself, so that you live with no regrets. And you know that you have tried, That if you say this is bad, you would mean it. You wouldn't be saying it's bad just because you were bad. You know what I mean? Like, that does happen sometimes. You're in a relationship with a person and you feel like they suck. Well, the truth is that you actually sucked. But you're just projecting. So you must try your best to be the dopest version of yourself. See the world for what it is. Try to figure out if there are solutions that you can come up with. But it's good to see things as they are without lying to yourself. It doesn't help to lie to yourself. It holds you, like, the lies that you tell yourself hold you back. Even lying to other people does hold you back. Like, you grow when you're honest, especially if you're gonna be brave. I mean, sometimes we lie because we're not brave. We don't believe in ourselves enough. But if you're brave, it becomes much easier for you to lie to tell the truth, because no matter what happens, you're like, I can fix any problem. So if I tell the truth and I find myself having a problem, I can fix it. I believe that I can fix it. And then you tell the truth, find yourself having a problem, and you fix it. I feel like a lot of people who watch my videos have been very, very strong, I don't think it's easy to understand what I say in my videos. if you've never had to be strong in your life? If life hasn't shown you some truth that made you feel uncomfortable? Do you live in a strange world? Past lives would never hold me down. I have the strangest feeling this is not my first time around. But I do hope it is. And when it's all over, it'll all be over. Even though that's not what I wished when I was young, but that's what I wish now. Thank you all, guys.